Picture this: Jon Rahm hoisting the Masters trophy with one hand, the world watching, and then, just months later, sitting in a boardroom closing a multi-million-dollar equity deal with Callaway Golf. Not your typical athlete story, right? But that's Jon Rahm for you. He's not just stacking birdies, he's stacking shares. Hey everyone, I'm Mark from Kickin Riches, and today we're diving into how Jon Rahm went from a kid in Spain blasting drives on the coast to a global golf champ who's just as dangerous in the business world as he is on the links. I have a theory. The most successful athletes aren't just clutch on game day. They know how to turn every swing, every dollar into something bigger off the course. Rahm, he's the poster child. So, if you ever wondered how a golf superstar makes and grows his money, or why a Masters champion ends up owning part of his equipment sponsor, stick around. This is a story of grit, guts, and some seriously smart financial moves. Let's roll it back and see how it all started. Ever heard the story about the small-town kid with big dreams? Jon Rahm's journey is basically golf's best version. Born in Barrica, in Spain's Basque country, Rahm learned to swing a club before most kids even picked a favorite sport. Imagine learning your first chip shot with the Atlantic wind in your face. That's where he started. By the time he hit college at Arizona State University, Rahm was already a legend in the making. 2 NCAA individual championships, world #1 in the amateur rankings. Did you know only a few golfers ever pull off back-to-back NCAA titles? That's rare air. That college run wasn't just about bragging rights, it laid the foundation for everything that came next. I've always believed that a champion's drive comes from way back, and you can spot it in guys like Rahm who mix talent with that little extra fire. He turned pro in 2016, and get this, in just his second tournament as a professional, he grabbed a win in Europe. Talk about a fast start. People called him Rambo for his passion and no-nonsense attitude. If you love rooting for someone who doesn't hang around the bottom of the leaderboard, Rahm's rise is pure inspiration. From quiet coastal Spain to golf's global spotlight, how's that for a beginning? All right, let's see how this fire from the Basque Coast launched him straight into golf's mega leagues. You know what's wild? Rahm didn't just climb the ladder, he threw it over his shoulder and sprinted to the top. The man won his first major at the US Open in 2021, Torrey Pines, in case you're keeping score at home, and then doubled down with a Masters victory at Augusta in 2023. Only a handful of golfers grabbed 2 majors before turning 30, so you know he's doing something special. We're talking a dozen PGA Tour wins, big European titles, even a silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics. Rahm plays the world. Ryder Cups, President's Cups, he's everywhere and always bringing the heat. What really sets him apart, besides his crazy clutch putting, is this consistency. Back in July 2020, he hit world #1, first Spaniard since Seve Ballesteros, and he's held that spot several times since. I mean, every time you check the rankings, his name's up there. Want a stat for the ages? Rahm was one of the youngest players to notch 10 PGA Tour wins. Imagine being in your 20s and already having your name in record books that usually only mention legends. Each one of those wins isn't just legacy, it's serious money. And as you'll see, the seed money for a business empire. So with trophies piling up and cameras flashing, how does that success actually turn into the kind of wealth that lets you call the shots off the course? Let's break it down. All right, here's the million, or actually multi-million-dollar question. How much does all that winning put in Jon Rahm's bank account? Brace yourself, because it's a lot. As of early 2023, Rahm had raked in over $48 million just in PGA Tour earnings alone. That's not counting his Euro Tour wins or other prizes. Imagine getting a check for $3 million just for one Masters weekend. Not a bad way to earn a living, right? But Rahm, like any superstar, knows the real riches are in endorsements. He's stacked deals with Callaway Golf. They give him more than clubs. He gets equity. We'll get back to that. Rocked Adidas and then Puma gear. Picked up Zurich Insurance, Lexus, Upper Deck, and even became an ambassador for VistaJet. These sponsorships are more than just free shirts and cars. They can double or triple a golfer's annual income. Sometimes the perks, like private jets, are just as good as the paycheck. And then there's the headline everyone talked about. Rahm's jump to LIV Golf in 2023 with a contract rumored at upwards of $200 million. Let that sink in. He's now among the top 15 earners in golf history, and he's not even close to done. So, if you suddenly found yourself with tens of millions, what would you do next? Buy an island or start thinking even bigger? Let's see what Rahm did when the winnings started pouring in. This is where Rahm shifts gears from just champion to actual business boss. Remember that Callaway deal I mentioned? In 2023, Rahm didn't just re-sign for clubs, he got an equity stake. That means when Callaway makes money, so does Jon. It's not every day a pro golfer becomes a part owner of his equipment sponsor. That's next level thinking. It's the kind of move you expect from CEOs, not just athletes. He's stacking his chips for the long game. Sure, he's still doing big brand ambassador roles, flying private with VistaJet, wearing the best clothes on tour, maybe even picking up extra travel perks. But what stands out is how Rahm's not settling for simple appearance fees. He's taking a slice of the pie. In my book, that's as impressive as draining a putt on the 18th, and he's doing it smart. He works with financial advisors, and while Rahm keeps most investments private, smart folks in the industry say he's spreading his wealth, stocks, real estate, just like any savvy investor would. Joining LIV Golf for a giant guaranteed contract? That's a business move, pure and simple. Why risk needing another big win to pay the bills when you can lock in generational money? Crazy to think that just a few years ago, he was only on the endorsement grind, and now he's turning every deal into future security. This is how you build a brand that lasts long after your final tournament round. Curious, do you think more athletes should go for the equity route instead of just cash? Drop your thoughts below. Let's wrap up with what Rahm's story is teaching the next wave of sports stars, and maybe all of us. Rahm's story might start with trophies, but in my eyes, it's really about smart moves and steady vision. He proves that greatness on the course and sharp thinking off it can go hand in hand. I think every young athlete, or honestly anyone with big dreams, can learn from how he maps his future. Start early, swing hard, but always plan for the long term. He's part of a new breed, not just taking big checks, but taking ownership, building partnerships, even future-proofing his brand. He fits right in with superstars like LeBron owning pizza chains or others jumping into tech startups. Imagine if more golfers started snagging pieces of the companies they promote. Rahm's equity deal could be a blueprint for the next wave. And get this, he's still just hitting his stride. More wins, maybe more business projects, maybe even a golf academy one day. He's a Basque kid who could have stopped at good enough, but decided to win on every front. Tournaments, investments, and legacy. What would you do if you were in Jon Rahm's shoes? Win more events, make bigger deals, maybe launch something of your own? I love reading your answers, so hit that comment section. Don't forget, if you learned something new or got inspired, hit that like button. Now, let's tie it all together. Every fairway Jon Rahm conquers helps finance his next adventure, on and off the course. It's wild to watch an athlete evolve into an investor, seeing success not as a finish line, but as the starting block for something bigger. Thanks for spending another round with me here on Kickin Riches. If you want more stories of athletes turning victories into empires, don't forget to subscribe. I promise. We'll keep breaking down the numbers and the dreams with just the right mix of fun and real talk. Leave a comment if you think Rahm's next business move will be even bigger, or if there's another sports star you want me to spotlight next. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your drives straight and your ideas bold.